Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're doing another deck profile. This time we're taking a look at Traptrix. Loads of really cool options in the extra deck, really awesome link plays, and the main deck tries to summon out as many monsters as possible, flood the board with traps, stunt your opponent's plays, and control the field. So, first up, we got 3 copies of Traptrix Boudica. Boudica lets you search out or normal summon the Traptrix field spell, which allows an additional normal for the turn. Mantis here is the main search for the deck. You can search out any other Traptrix monster from deck to hand. 3 copies of Traptrix Mamelio. This lets you search out a whole trap card, of which of course there are many targets in the Traptrix deck. 2 copies of Traptrix Arachno Camper. Usually your target, most likely from Mantis. It can special summon itself to the field as long as you already control a Traptrix monster. It does lock you in, however, probably is the last thing you should be doing before you go into your extra deck plays. Traptrix Dionea, we run at 2, normal summon. It lets you summon a Traptrix monster back from the grave. We run 1 copy of Lord of Heavenly Prison, bit of a weird curveball card, but you can activate it from your hand to protect your traps. Your opponent can't destroy them, and also if the trap is activated you can summon it to the field and then search any normal trap from the deck. We run 3 copies of Parallel Exceed. 3 copies is really good because Traptrix Serra is a link 1 for any Traptrix monster, so it's really easy to pop off with this card, and I'd never run less than 3 after seeing my friend playing Crusadia brick 3 in his first hands. 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring to round off the monsters. Super good card, just generically wonderful. You should really always be playing this, to be honest. For the spells, we have 1 copy of Traptrix Garden. That's the field spell, as we mentioned previously. It's searchable from Boudica, and it allows a second normal summon for a Traptrix monster. 3 copies of Tantalizing Tune. You can discard a Traptrix monster from your hand for draw 2. Prosperity is probably better, but it comes in the structure deck there, Tune, so why not? Double or Nothing, we do run the U double package because all Traptrix monsters are level 4. Bottomless Trap Hole is just a good one. There's certain cards that other trap holes struggle to hit. Bottomless is just a great generic one at 1. Also with Reflazer in the extra deck, you can send a trap hole from deck to grave to activate its effect without having it in your hand. Nightmare at 2 because negate and destroy is just mad. We run 1 void trap hole. I think time space is better personally, but I built this to counter actually a friend who was building out branded at the time. Void's still great. If an opponent summons a monster from the extra deck with 2500 or more attack, you can send it to the graveyard. Floodgate, brilliant card. There's a reason that it coined the term Floodgate for certain trap cards in the game. Flips a monster face down, and your opponent can't do anything with it. Just makes them waste their normal for the turn, and then they'll struggle to extend. Gravediggers we run at 1 because again you can use it off Reflazer in response to opponent's hand trap. Also deals 2k damage to their life points. IDP, actually one of the most underappreciated cards in the game. I think you can use it to banish an opponent's monster from the field, or most importantly in this deck as a monster reborn in the battle phase. Evenly matched, awesome card. You can flip that at the end of the battle phase if you go in second, make your opponent banish all the cards on their side of the field, and then play your main phase 2 as if you were going first. Really good. 3 Holtea, super good, sort of superseded Shade Brigandine for Traptrix. You can play at the turn, you set it if you discard a normal trap. And of course we're ending out with 2 Infinite Permanents. Just an awesome card all the time. Genuinely love it. I put it in every single deck that I play, to be honest. For the extra deck, 2 copies of Pingu. Pingu's really good. It's one of the stronger attack monsters in the deck. If your opponent sends a card to the graveyard by card effect, you can add it to Pingu as material. It's also immune to the activate effect of cards as long as it has one of the same type as material. Reflazer at 2. Reflazer you always want on your first turn. It's just brilliant. Basically lets you quick effect any trap hole from the deck. Alamira is super good. Gives all your Traptrix monsters plus 1000 attack, and if an opponent's monster leaves the field by trap hole, you can special summon it to the field. Time Thief Redoer, super good card in this deck, genuinely amazing. Because of Holtea being a level 4 monster, once it's summoned to the field by its effect, you can use that as material to go into Redoer, and then Redoer's effect lets you banish the trap as material to remove one of your opponent's cards from the field. Baguska, really awesome. If you can't get anything else but you still manage to get 2 level 4s out, yeah, you can go into Baguska with some trap holes on the back row. That's not the worst board to end on if things have been disrupted. Of course we run the U double package. Just love it. I think this deck struggles a little bit to go for game. It's really good at stopping your opponent and their plays, but it does struggle then to go for within itself. Zeus, absolutely brilliant. So many easy summons in the deck, you might as well run Zeus if you have a copy. 2 Galaria in the end phase of a turn. If you have Galaria on the field, you can special summon a Traptrix back. Outburst super good, same plus 1000 as Alamiris. It also gives you options to negate and banish your opponent's monsters. Traptrix Sarah at 3 because it is the most important card in the deck. Being a link 1, it lets you pop off with Exceed, and also if a trap's activated or Traptrix monster's activated, you can search out the respective other from the deck. So let's move on over to Master Duel and see how the deck actually plays. First up, we got a reasonable hand here. It's not perfect, so we'll set to play Mamelio. Gets hit with Ash. That's no big deal because we only really need it as a link material to go into Traptrix Sarah. Sarah, as we touched on before, if a trap is activated, you can search out a Traptrix monster, special summon it, and if a Traptrix monster activates its effect, you can set a trap hole directly from the deck. In this instance, though, we use it to activate Parallel Exceed, which gets us 2 level 4s on the field, and we go into Traptrix Rafflesia. Now, that was summon number 5, so he tries to hit us with Nib, but Rafflesia can send a material, send a trap hole from deck, and quick effect that trap hole's effect as its own. We negate the Nib, they take 2k. Because we activated a Traptrix monster, we can set a hole directly from the deck. So we'll in turn pass over to the opponent, and the opponent just doesn't want to deal with Traptrix. And this is something you'll come across, to be honest. It's a deck that I think people encountered quite frequently when the new Traptrix support came to Master Duel, and people just don't like it very much. Boudica in this game searches out Garden. Now we don't have another monster to get the extra normal from Garden, but it does protect our Traptrix monsters. We activated Holtea to give us 2 monsters on the field for Rafflesia. Now Rafflesia and 1 trap hole down. That's not the worst board you could have. Interestingly, he sets 3, sets 1, and passes back to us. Now we draw into Lord of Heavenly Prison, which we activate pass, so that protects our traps on the back row, they can't be destroyed. And also if a trap is activated this turn, we can special him from hand and search a trap ourselves. That, of course, is exactly what we look to do. Prison's alright in this deck because it does give you a strong attack monster, which the deck kind of struggles to get out quick. So we search Altea, which we activate in this following turn. Ash's card, because we have a surplus seemingly now. And we use Altea as a single Traptrix monster to go into Sarah, which unfortunately gets negated straight away. We do clear his border monsters though, and pass back for his turn. He achieves nothing. Hands back to us. We summon Mantis, search Camper. Camper, of course, we can special. I mean, we could normal off Trap Trip anyway, but we special it for its effect, and then we have the mats to go into Alamiris. So we try to do a bit of damage here. He hits with Rainbow Life. And this is where I clocked he was playing an Exodia deck, so I didn't summon in the last turn, because the only cards he has in hand are Exodia pieces. We Ash his search, and he passes back to us. Now I use Alamiris here to go back into Sarah, because I knew I had Holtea in the graveyard to activate to summon back Traptrix Alamiris. So we do a little bit of damage here, trying to claw back some ground with the life points it gained from Rainbow Life, and we pass the turn back to him. Set 1 pass, and this is it, we have game here. So we play Die Now, that lets us summon back a monster. Of course Sarah activates in response. We use the 2 level 4s to go into Utopia Double, because that's going to help us take game on this turn. Double activates its effect to discard its materials, search out Double or Nothing, and then summon a different Utopia monster from the deck. Now we clear the field with Alamiris, and then we use Double or Nothing along with Utopia to double the attack of Heavenly Prison, hit for 6k, and then we take game with Traptrix Sarah. So as you can see, this deck has a lot of potential to just stop and slow your opponent's plays. It limits the boards that they can create and allows you to go for game yourself. With the abundance of level 4s, there's a lot of cool Xyz monsters you can play. There are some other contenders here. So if you played Traptrix yourself, what spicy cards do you add to the mix? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.